Morning, everybody. Yesterday we talked about how the southern states finally seceded or broke from the Union. Now, the word secede means break away or rebel. In other words, let's say a part of the country doesn't want to become part of that country anymore, it secedes or it breaks away, becomes its own country or part of another country it plans on. Now, the Union, every time you hear the word Union, it's referring to the United States because Union means to bring together, and United States means states that are united together. And that's what the Union is. The Union is the country as a whole. And you gotta remember, even though today we consider states as like something like districts, people actually consider their respective states to be like their own country. It's like their own states would actually like count more for them than the whole country as a whole. In fact, there's a very famous quote from a movie called National Treasure who said, before Abraham Lincoln, people said the United States are. After Abraham Lincoln, people said the United States is, as a way of emphasizing the unity, that the strengthening of the Union. So, among the southern states who seceded from the Union because of the issue with slavery and the fact that Abraham Lincoln was elected president was Virginia, Texas, Tennessee, Florida, and many others, including North and South Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri. There was a part of Virginia that did not want to secede from the Union, and they broke away from Virginia itself and stayed with the Union, and to this day we call it West Virginia, and that's how West Virginia came to be. Now here's an interesting thing. Today I want you guys to take a look at the South's perspective. Now, many people always then imagine that the vast majority of the whites living in the South were slave owners, but reality was actually that only 32% owned slaves. So if only 32% own slaves, obviously they're fighting, those slave owners are fighting so that way they could keep their slaves. What would the rest of the population be doing if don't have slaves to fight to keep ownership over? Well, there could be many reasons like that, and one of the many reasons that you are going to be looking at is particularly with General Robert E. Lee. Robert E. Lee was a man who lived in Virginia. That was his home. He was educated in West Point, which is a famous military academy even to this day, and he was actually shown to be a very capable general, probably the best general in the whole Civil War. When the war broke out, he was asked by President Lincoln, to become the commander of the Union forces, of the Northern forces, in order to bring the rebellion of the South back into the fold of the Union and end it. So, you guys are going to be analyzing why Robert E. Lee, along with many other Southerners, fought for the South. And Robert E. Lee best emphasizes that with his response to Abraham Lincoln, because he refuses it and actually fights as a general for the Southern Army. Okay?